we're doing some JDS Leatherette and Lone Star Adhesive. Now, I've tried to time this intro for when this diode over here is going to finish up cutting out JDS Leatherette patch that has Lone Star Adhesive on the back. So it's going to run through the cut right now. Once it is finished cutting out, I'm going to show you the end result. And then you're going to get the settings for this a little bit later in the video. I think you're going to be pleased. This is probably one of the colors of Leatherette that is the most frustrating for people. And I found typically my CO2 Galvo is the best for it. But I've got some diode settings for you. And they'll be coming up later in the episode. But what I have here is the blue and silver. Now yes, it's still a little blue, but a little bit of Dawn Power Wash or some LA Awesome or some other cleaner degreaser. And all we gotta do is just get this leftover blue off of there. And it comes off pretty easy, just actually light rubbing. And that residue is off of there. And we end up just that quick with a pretty fabulous JDS Leatherette patch. And let me see if I can get it to focus on it. And there we go. Lone Star Adhesive is what we'll be using on the back of our Leatherette, at least for most of it. And that's what I'll be showing you as far as how to press it over on the press here in a minute, and how to engrave the Leatherette and cut it with the adhesive on the back. But this is the blue that gives everybody so much trouble, and you saw that just come off of that 20-watt diode. A quick rub with some LA Awesome, and you've got an awesome patch with the blue and the silver. But stick around, I have more colors coming for you, not just the blue and silver. I've got the black and silver, brown and gold, regular brown, tan, teal, and maybe a couple others. That's it. Let's just head over to the press and get some adhesive on the back of our Leatherette. Okay folks, I'm here over at the heat press with the JDS Leatherette. Doesn't have any adhesive on the back. I've cut my Lone Star Adhesive sheet to size and have minimal excess. Verified that the adhesive, actually I just peeled a little piece off right here just to make sure that the carrier was on the back side and the adhesive was facing the back of the Leatherette sheet. I like to put a piece of wax paper down on the bottom of the press just in case there's any nasty stuff that I don't want on the front of the Leatherette. Then I will set my Leatherette sheet in, and you can preheat the bottom of the press if you like. So there's Leatherette sheet in, and then I'm going to swing this press around and drop it for 14 seconds. I'm just going to count to my head. And what we should have at the end of 14 seconds is the adhesive starts to bond to the Leatherette. And then we can just work the press around until we get all the edges of the adhesive pressed onto our Leatherette. And we'll get this, put it in that orientation. We'll get these two corners. I'll spin around, get these two corners, and then get this middle part, and that should do it. 220 degrees, 14 seconds. And if you refer back to my other video, the first video, you'll see what it looks like when you don't have your adhesive completely adhered to the back of the leatherette. It will start to peel away when you peel away your carrier sheet. That's approximately 14 seconds. And I've already went all the way around. No. I got this side, so that is adhered nicely. This side is not, so I just need to come back and do this part of the leatherette, and that should cover the whole surface area. I do have that set to just mild pressure. It's not squeezing the life out of it. Mild pressure, 220 degrees, 14 seconds. And at this point, just inspect your edges, make sure everything is nice and secure, and it looks really good. And we are ready to head to the laser, and we'll show you how to laser this leatherette with a diode using the Star Adhesive backer and cut through it all. And let me turn the press off and save some electricity. All right, here we're going to run blue leatherette. I'm going to let it run for a little bit, and then I'm going to pause it and clean it. I want you to see what happens after you clean it with a little bit of Dawn Power Wash. All right, here I want you to see what happens when we run the same settings that we've been using on the other leatherette. It's actually too much power, and it starts to eat away at the silver coating underneath. So what I've found is that we can address this issue in two ways, and in combination they produce a great result. The first way is to increase your distance from the leatherette by approximately 2 millimeters, and this is with this 20-watt diode, by approximately 2 millimeters up. So we're effectively increasing our spot size that way. And then we're going to change our engrave by increasing the spacing between passes, and that will compensate for that increase in spot size. And we're going to drop the power a little bit as well. So I'm going to go from as you can see here, I've been running at 20,000, 45 speed, interval of 0.068. And when we change to the blue, I'm going to run 35% power, so dropping at 10% and increasing the interval to 0.085. And by making those two changes in combination with increasing the distance from the laser, increasing the distance of the laser from the material, we actually get a really good engrave. So now let's run this again with these changed settings. All right, and here we go, running the blue leatherette again with the changed settings. And I'll let this run for a little bit and pause it and clean it. All right, at this point, I'm going to pause it. And coming under the laser for a clean, and you should be able to see it. That is a nice bright silver, and we haven't engraved any of the material away. That gives us that nice bright silver color. So we'll resume and I'll show you when it's finished. And I am using LA Awesome to clean this. So this just happens to be the bottle I grabbed. It's LA Awesome, but I've used Dawn Power Wash and other things as well. But there, we have a nice consistent result with the blue and silver JDS Leatherette. Alright folks, here we have some JDS marble leatherette being engraved with the 20-watt Lasermatic diode. I wanted to show off this collar that engraves very nice, really sharp. And I'm using the same settings that I used on the blue and the silver. Now what I'm wanting to show you here is you'll see that air assist is pushing that leatherette down as it passes over it. I would normally use magnets and anchor it down, but I just thought I would demonstrate how well the air assist is working on this diode. And the Lasermatic air assist is automatic using the M8 command. So that's handy, you don't have to remember to turn it on and off. Okay, now we're going to run the brown leatherette, and I'm going back to the original setting of 20,000, 45, 0.068. I do want to point out the cut setting. I'm cutting the JDS Leatherette with the factory adhesive and the JDS Leatherette with the durable Lone Star adhesive at a speed of 400, power of 95, and that is with this 20-watt diode. Let's go ahead and run this. I'm going to leave it out of focus and just do a test so we can compare the results. All right, we have our burn to learn in blue and silver, which turned out great. Also have the tan, the brown JDS Leatherette, not tan, brown, but it turned out great. Sorry, I'm trying to get the light to hit it right. There we go. That's better. Now you can see it. All right, that did turn out fine. So if you forget and run it out of focus, it's not going to hurt anything. It looked just fine. But I did want to test that and see exactly what happened. Next thing I want to show you is the teal. A lot of people seem to have issues with teal. I'm running teal with the exact same settings that I just ran the brown, and it turned out just fine. Next, what I'll do is roll in some footage of the black with silver and brown with gold underlay, and see exactly what settings with the 20-watt diode we need to use for those, and show you the teal, and that'll be about it to wrap this video up. Throw a little teaser in here. I do have leather video coming up soon. It will be featuring Lone Star Adhesive's leatherette. It'll have be the leatherette that has the adhesive already applied, and then coming soon, I'm also going to have Lone Star brand leatherette. So it is leatherette that has adhesive already applied. And next up we have the teal running. So here's just a little bit of footage of the teal. Short earthquake before the teal starts, and then it's finished and looks good. Then we run the brown with the silver underneath. So that runs pretty quick at 1000% speed. Gives you a little close up. And it's really fun watching the cut at high speed, I think. If only. Alright, this is where we adjusted our power and dropped it to 25% so we could run the black and brown with the foil underneath. So the black and brown, we had to drop power again to 25%. I would like to know what you guys would like to see next. Would you rather see me do some leatherette with the C2 Galvo, or UV, or fiber laser, or all three? Preferably just pick one. I could do all three in one video, but I'd rather separate them out and make them easier to find. Alright, we are back with our black with silver, our brown with the silver, our teal, brown, and blue. Different settings for almost every color. The brown, gray, teal, solid colors all seem to take the same setting. The blue takes a different setting than the brown and black. Brown and black, we had to drop the power by 10% to 25%, and came out with excellent results. So there is a quick overview of engraving JDS Leatherette, some of the different colors that are available from JDS, and all of these cut with the same settings. I had durable adhesive on some and the JDS stock adhesive on the others, and they all cut with the same settings, so you'll have no issues cutting the durable adhesive. Just wanted to make that known. And so far, durable is very durable. Washed a hat and had no issues, so that was a definite positive. But there you go. There's a quick overview of pressing the adhesive onto leatherette, and also engraving leatherette with the 20-watt diode. So hopefully that will get you in the ballpark with some settings and techniques to get that done. And just to recap, engraving with the 20-watt diode, all are at a speed of 20,000 millimeters per minute. Solid colors, 45% power, 0.068 line distance, in focus. When you switch to the blue and silver, drop your power 35%, increase line distance to 0.085, and focus your laser 2 millimeters up higher than usual from your material. Then when transitioning to the black or brown foil, you are dropping 10% from the blue or 20% from the solid colors down to 25% power, 0.085 line distance, and 2 millimeters up from your focal point, just as with the blue and the silver. But that's all I have for this video for today. Thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much. And that's it. Have a great day, folks. Thank you.